Hello, this is the box right here at the YALI Alumni Expo and Trade Show. This is the first ever YALI Alumni Expo and Trade Show. Remember, you can follow the box everywhere. Of course, you can watch it on YALIExpo.com, but the videos are everywhere on our social media platforms. You can follow YALI Expo on Instagram, YALI Expo on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok as well. Do follow YALI LL and YALI Africa as well across every social media platforms. So the box, like we said on the previous episodes, links you with alumni who are doing commendable job in the community. But not only alumni, we have sponsors, we have investors, we have various stakeholders who play a very huge role in the development of young people and development of this continent. And so today on this episode, we're joined by Mr. Vusumuzi Mukwananzi, who is actually a very passionate humanitarian, and of course he's a fintech innovator. He's very committed to empowering African communities through financial inclusion. He's the founder of myRunner. He's also the CEO of myRunner. This is a pioneering platform that has actually attracted over 200,000 users and created more than 500 jobs. Vusumuzi is transforming transportation access across Africa. But in addition to his leadership, he also serves as the international board member for Doctors Without Borders, MSF, actively contributing to global humanitarian efforts. That is just part of his biography. The man is here to actually talk more about himself. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
So welcome to the expo, man.
Thank you. Finally, it's here.
Finally, it's here.
Finally, it's here.
We've been talking online for such a while, and one thing I realized about you, of course, is the passion that you have for what you're doing. Somebody can feel it in the voice. Somebody can see the way you explain in the video and everything. Is passion the cornerstone of everything that you do?
Well, I think passion is important because when you do what you enjoy, it makes it easier.
Okay.
Of course, I don't think that passion alone can take you far, but it's a very important, I think, ingredient. Yeah.
Okay. Without that, you won't even if you love it, then you'll be passionate about it.
Yeah.
I like that. So please introduce yourself, starting with your name, country, YALI affiliation, maybe cohort number, or maybe the business track.
Okay, no, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So my friends, most people call me Vusa, but my full name is Vusumuzi Mukwananzi.
Okay.
I am a Mandela Washington Fellow, 2019 cohort,
Right.
and I am from the Regional Center in Southern Africa, online cohort 1. Right, so I did the online cohort 1, I think, in 2017.
Okay.
And then I went for the fellowship in 2019.
Okay.
So I'm passionate about using entrepreneurship to solve problems.
Okay.
And I am on a mission to show that you can build a business that scales across Africa and across the world.
Of course, building a business that scales across Africa and across the world. Africa right now as a continent, of course, we are trying, things like visa-free travel and all that. What are some of the challenges that, of course, hinder us as Africans from having something that is unique for all of us? Could be business-wise. Could be, like you said, you're trying to create something that is applicable to all Africans. What is some of the challenges that you face with this?
Well, I think obviously the regulators and I think that we need to have an environment that is conducive for people to move freely and to travel freely as a start, right? And then the other thing, I think the stars are aligning bit by bit. I think that at a time like this, it's even easier for a startup to walk to Botswana or to Kenya and start a business. Okay. I don't think that it will ever be perfect, but I think that we have to think in bigger blocks than our countries, intentionally.
Intentionally, okay. We have to be intentional in the way that we think about our continent. So, what motivated you to apply to the YALI program?
Well, I think for me, and I was talking to another colleague earlier on, I think because I started with the online program, right? So you're looking for a thirst of knowledge. You need some skills. So I connected with that, and I connected with the vision where you're speaking about leadership.
Yeah.
And then from there on, when I met some of the people in the community, I think the alumni are infectious. I think that they're doing exciting things. It's almost impossible to listen to any one of the delegates here and not get inspired or get really thinking, because I think for me, I enjoy being in the presence of doers. I think that's the most important
thing. What is one alumni story that really struck you? Like, wow, that was amazing.
Wow. Quite a lot. I think there are quite a lot of stories. I've seen organizations being built from just a conversation. I know, for instance, Samantha from Signs of Hope. She started this disability inclusion. I saw it start from ground. I think it's been very exciting to see a journey. I see Russia in Tanzania, who is one of my directors in myRunner. I think that that's a real business, and she's doing real stuff. It's almost very hard to pick one, to be honest.
I understand. So you are the CEO of myRunner. You're the founder of myRunner. We want to understand your role, what your role actually involves on a day-to-day basis, because you talked about having one of your directors in Tanzania. You know what I'm saying? That's distance. How does this team work?
Wow. So right now, in terms of directly myRunner, team of 33 part on some. I think my role at the moment is to ensure that we continue to build the systems. The business system. I think that we have a system, it's easier to scale, and I think also to provide the leadership. I tell you, I was actually laughing because in September, I was nominated to be one of the speakers celebrating most successful alumni here in Cape Town, right? I then won the Presidential Innovation Award. But I can tell you, during that time, I believe it's been one of the most challenging times for us as myRunner. We have been stretching our runway, trying to ensure, but everybody around us is like, okay, so you're doing very well. So I think that one of my main roles is to tell to people, okay, despite all these challenges that we face, you see, for instance, if you are in Zimbabwe, just in October, we had another switch of a currency and another devaluation. If you are here in South Africa, because we have a presence, if you check the regulator here in South Africa, you could people could do payments easily to Lesotho, to Namibia, to Swaziland. But then it's like we've gone 10 years back because now we're using the SWIFT code system, which, so one of my roles, I think, is to keep the team focused. I'm trying is to raise money. So one of the key roles that my board and my team has said, okay, you need to focus now on because I'm very operational and I'm very hands-on. I like to push things. So it's an exciting new role of trying to fundraise, trying to navigate to see how can we extend the runway for myRunner.
I like that. So you're a leader who is hands-on. You're aware of everything that's going on around you, and you're constantly looking for ways to ensure that your team blocks away the noise from outside and just focus on what you guys are. You might be winning awards, and people might be, conditions might be tough, but your role in this team is to ensure that we all focused and we all like hitting the road every single day to achieve our goals or something. That's actually pretty nice. So how has your experience with YALI influenced your personal and professional journey?
Well, I think in many ways, to be honest, in many ways. So one of the ones that draw me, I've got more than 13 former alumni from Mandela to actively working in myRunner with different contracts. And the good thing is with the alumni people is they understand vision, they understand the goal, they understand what is required. For me, that's been one of my biggest assets. And also in terms of scaling into these spaces, it's been very interesting. The centers have been supportive. And I think also when I went to the US in 2019, I managed to register and incorporate myRunner in the US. And then just a couple of months ago, I went back on the US on my own ticket. And then there's something also about going back to the US when your company pays and you're able to go there, meet old friends, and then re-strategize, see opportunities. So for me, I think I was building, to be honest, I was building more as a learner. I was building more looking, even this language of, okay, so it's a startup, you have to have impact, let's look at what, I was looking at, okay, so I have a problem. I need to run a business and I need to make this business succeed. And then the shift in the mindset to say a business does not only exist just solely for its shareholders and profit. For me, it's been one of the most satisfying and transformative
moments,
about this program. Yeah,
I understand, and that makes a lot of sense. So when you start talking about myRunner, when you start talking about your career and everything, you have a lot of milestones. And you won an award, like you said, but I want to believe that there's so many other achievements and milestones that you don't share, and you haven't shared maybe. And to some people, they don't look like huge achievements and all that. Like you were saying, being able to go back to the United States, but this time around, your company is actually paying, and you can actually connect and do whatever you want to do there until you come back home. So away from this award, what are those like tiny moments that mean so much to you and your people right now?
okay, so there are quite many. One of, I think the most interesting thing is the paying customers. So for a while I was running a customer funded model, right? And I think I remember the paying customers. When I see people during COVID lockdown and they cannot continue traveling across borders, and then I see these huge people that use myRunner. Like I look at my dashboard and transactions are moving and people I feel like the business is having a life of its own. There are a lot of other milestones, but I think having a team, if you look at it's just, even when I was speaking, I felt like I never got to the piece of the technology. If you look at the technology that we have built, and I look back and I look at the demographics and the age and my team, I was like, okay, so how have we done that? I think that we have built a real working, not like just a science project. Like there's a science project, looks also nice, but I feel we've built technology that really brings efficiency. And then in terms of the other awards, we have done Seed Stars, we have won Sisters. Just before coming in here, I was on the call for the UNDP Timbuktu Accelerator. So we will be pitching there this December because it's an accelerator. So we're hoping that grant is going to be very crucial for us, the Timbuktu, because it's going to extend our runway. Which is very good. I think.
Very good. Yeah. All the best with that, man. Of course, there's that, and there's also plans of maybe expanding. When you look at myRunner, and expanding the runways and everything, how do you see this evolving, say in the next 5 years or the next 6 years?
I'm terrified. I am terrified. Sometimes I'm very scared. And I say genuinely, because I feel even when I was walking onto the stage, I look at the challenges that we're facing right now at myRunner. Right, I look at the challenges, and the challenges are coinciding with where you're just being recognized. You know, like we were recognized as the most innovative citizens. We're here in the alumni. There are 30,000 people who could have spoken today. So I'm thankful to God and to the alumni for giving us a chance to speak. And I don't take it for granted. But I look and say, okay, we've gone this far. I have been a fan of a customer-funded model where you don't really ask for permission. I find that one paying customer, they pay us, we scale, we continue. I think that we have scaled quite a lot, and the business is telling me, okay, you need to raise money to sustain the scale, right? So, and I look at the various landscapes in the different markets. I'll just give you a very interesting example. So I had been scaling in the different countries in Southern Africa, right? So I get to Tanzania, right? So yes, there's Russia, and it looks pretty straightforward. But I didn't understand in Tanzania, you have to pay for your rentals 1 year in advance. You have to pay for the house 1 year in advance. That's like looking at about 8,000, 12,000. I'm used to getting to a space, and according to me, I'm like, okay, so probably I'm going to spend maybe for the office and the house, maybe 500 to 1,000 per month. So you get into a space, and it's completely the opposite.
Different,
So those kind of challenges are the ones that scare me. They scare me because I'm in platforms like this, and it looks like myRunner has made it. But I feel deep down we're not yet what we could be. I want to see us being our logo, replacing one of the logos that are there 10 years. In the next 10 years, I want one of the logos that will be sponsoring events like this to be a myRunner. I want myRunner to be there. I think if we achieve that, then we've told a story that we are not only takers as Africans, we are also, we value what is going on, and we wish to also give back. For me, that's the way I would want. I want to see more startups, more companies from fellows supporting, being partners in events like this.
I get that. And talking about, of course, your logo, being able to replace other logos and being in a position to sponsor or be part of big events in the future as myRunner. When you're doing your presentation today, you displayed on the screen a picture of Elon Musk. And you were giving an example that maybe years back, nobody knew that this guy here will be the one running X and everything. How much of an inspiration is Elon to you?
Well, Elon Musk was born in Southern Africa. He founded PayPal. But I tell you that, for instance, right now, in all the countries in Africa, they still struggle to access PayPal, right? And then secondly, at that time, they were using emails, right? I think that right now the number one media is the phones, and the technology has evolved to allow me to be able to send money to you on a phone. Not only the M-Pesa, where I know you're from Kenya, but to be able to, if you look at the cost even of SMS, you could almost trigger, and be able to do those payments across. And then the other thing is the intentionality of it, to say, when I look at what I call the PayPal Mafia, the PayPal Mafia are the people that collaborated with Elon Musk, and then they have gone to support his business. If you check, when SpaceX failed 3 times, SpaceX failed 3 times. The people that came to reinvest and invest there were some of the people that were in the slide, what we call the PayPal Mafia. I look at the number of alumni, I look at the people that are there in my team, and I think that if we are intentional, maybe not about myRunner, but any other business, we could create a revolution in Africa, and where you are because I am, and I am because you are.
Okay. I like that. So, talking about creating a revolutionary, being as one people, as Africans, then you definitely need people. And so, how do we know more about your business, and how do we connect with you? Let's say I want to join a revolution and create more runways. How do I connect with you?
Okay, so fantastic. I think, firstly, you'll find us, we're very strong. Internet in Africa is a lot in Facebook and WhatsApp.
For sure.
The status. So if you go on Facebook, find myRunner there. You will go on Twitter, you will, which is X.
Yeah.
You will find us a lot. I think if you go there on those platforms, the interesting thing is you will then engage with our bot, which is running on a Facebook message, on WhatsApp, Telegram. I think you have a very fantastic experience of myRunner. But we are looking for talented people, for partners out there, for investors, for different kinds of people that are passionate. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and all the best to that revolution. It's a revolution that myself, would love to be a part of, I'm saying, and every other young people, young person who is watching this interview or who is listening to this interview. If we've missed out something that you love to touch on, this is the time to really talk about it.
No, thank you so much. I think that we need to build technology that works.
Yeah.
I think that we need to get out of the rooms. I think that sometimes when we're in spaces like YALI, yes, there are a lot of grant opportunities, there are a lot of support, but we need to be able to get out there and get paying customers. We need to get the paying customers and get our hands dirty.
Yeah.
And once we have that, I feel when you were reading the slide, I'm like, wow, we've done 200,000. I mean,
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable now. So I'm thankful to God and my team for that.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Remember, our guest today was Vusumuzi Mkwananzi. And of course, his work has been so impactful. Of course, he has been recognized by various organizations, various people, notably, of course, the prestigious 2024 Presidential Citizens Innovation Award. He's also a member of the UNDP Timbuktu Fintech Accelerator 2024 cohort that will be taking part in December. And there he continues to drive innovative financial solutions for undeserved populations. So get on his socials, find out more on what they do, and get to connect and be part of the revolution. This is the box from the YALI Expo.